Strange but true stories. Tales from the light side, the dark side, and, of course, the other side. I'm tonight's host, Mr. Mind. I called myself. How is this possible? I've been reading the stories on this platform, and I have enjoyed them, so I decided I would share my very own weird story with all of you. This happened in the early 2000s when I was working at a juvenile detention center in a small town in Oklahoma as a corrections officer. I was working late nights at the time and went to work at 9 p.m. This one night, when I arrived to work, my supervisor looked confused and asked me what I was doing there. I said, "I work tonight." And then he said, "But they said you called in a few hours ago saying that you were sick." Now, I was a bit confused and said, "It must have been someone else and they must have got the message wrong." After everyone else showed up for work that night, it was a bit more weird, but we carried on as usual and assigned everyone their places for the night. I went to work in the control room. The control room is the center of the prison that has direct control over all the cameras, doors, phones, and everything. After I relieved the guard on duty and settled in for the night, I looked at the message that said I called in. It said that I had called at 6:50 p.m. and said that I had gotten sick while out cleaning after the storm. There had been a storm the night before, and it was a bit bad, but not anything that made me go out and have to clean up. It was truly weird. So the supervisor came into the control room about that time. He was also a friend of mine outside of work, and we started talking about it and how odd it was. I decided to call my wife at home and tell her all about it while he was sitting there. I picked up the phone and dialed. After 2 rings, a man picked up the phone with a raspy voice and said, "Hello?" Now, I did not know what to say for a few seconds. I looked at the phone to make sure I had dialed the right number, and I had. After a few seconds, the person said, "Hello?" Again, in the same raspy voice. I said, "Hello, who's this?" "This is Taylor." "Who's this?" the person said. My head started spinning because my name is Taylor also, and this man sounded exactly like me, just a sicker version. I said in almost a scream, "Where is Ann?" He said, "Ann's in bed. Who is this?" I dropped the phone and told my supervisor to ring me out. I had to get home, and I took off towards the door. I could hear Dave pick up the phone behind me and say, "Hello?" Followed soon after by, "What the f?" rather loudly. I ran to my car and drove home faster than what was legal. My mind was racing the entire time. I busted through the door, and my wife was just sitting, watching TV, and was shocked at me being home. So I asked her who was there, and she said no one has been there. After a rather long talk with my wife, I went to call the prison to tell them what was going on, but the phone was dead. I went back to work, and when I came in, Dave was acting really weird and asked me, "How the hell are you doing this?" He told me that when I left, he picked up the phone and the person on the other end sounded just like me. He kind of freaked out and hung the phone up. A minute later, as he could see my car leaving the parking lot, the other me had called back from home and asked what the hell was going on. He said that the other me was a bit irate and said I was sick and did not feel like playing these games and was telling him to stop prank calling me, and hung up. After convincing him I had no idea what was going on, we went back to work. Later, I found out that the phone line from my area had been knocked down the night before the storm. This is absolutely the strangest thing that has ever happened to me. This has been another strange but true story, narrated by your friend, Mr. Mind. If you have a story of your own, we would love to hear it. Please send us an email at strangebutTrueStories2@gmail.com. Please comment, like, and subscribe. And we plan on giving you even more stories every single week. This is your host, Mr. Mind, and keep pondering.